sulfur dioxide emissions from the Mayon, only a few days since it started showing signs of unrest. PHIVOLCS says that the alert level over the Mayon volcano could still change. In an interview with The Big Story, PHIVOLCS Director Teresito Bacolcol said they are studying several parameters that could lead to Mayon being placed under alert level 4. The country's top volcanologist also painted two scenarios if and when Mayon flares up. First is an eruption with sporadic explosions or a relatively quiet one like what happened in 2014.
For an increase in sulfur dioxide, this would imply that new magma is intruding to the shallower part of the edifice. And we are also looking at increase in the mass flux as evidenced by longer lava flows. We are also waiting for an increase in the seismicity as well as the inflation of the edifice and of course minor explosions.
Science and Technology Secretary Renato Solidum explained to 1PH that Mayon's danger zone could be extended to 8 kilometers once it is under alert level 4. However, Solidum clarified that there will not be any extraordinary restrictions in the movements outside of the danger zone. What this means is that going to nearby cities and municipalities like Legazpi and Daraga will still be allowed.
Kahit naman may taas ang alert level, kung titingnan po natin, yung ibang mga aktibidad niya ay hindi ganun ka-eksplosibo. Ang lang pumasok doon sa bawal na lugar like 6 kilometers permanent danger zone. And then pag tinaas po yan sa alert level 4 ang ating binagbabawal, hanggang 8 kilometro o pwedeng ma-extend.
In reaction to that, President Bongbong Marcos says that his government is ready to assist affected locals living near restive volcanoes. The chief executive is particularly following developments over at the Mayon volcano in Bicol and Taal in Batangas. Evacuation and food assistance remain the government's top concerns should these volcanoes erupt.
Naka-ready na naman tayo at ganun naman talaga ang ating ginagawa. We watch it very, very closely, make sure that any of the communities that could be affected are evacuated and are given assistance while they are evacuated until the time that they can return to their homes. So it's the same thing.
We're gonna pause for a quick break, but One News Now will be back with more stories after that. Keep it here. west over the Philippine Sea. Pag-asa last spotted the weather disturbance some 920 kilometers east of northern Luzon. It is packing winds of 130 to 160 kilometers per hour. Chadeng will not be hitting land or making landfall, but Pag-asa says that the typhoon is now approaching the period when it will be closest to the country's landmass. A weakening trend could also begin over the weekend. Typhoon Chadeng is not likely to bring any rain showers directly to the country, but it could still enhance the southwest monsoon, which means heavy rainfall in affected areas. The State Weather Bureau expects Chadeng to leave the Philippine area of responsibility on Monday. Newly minted Health Secretary Ted Herbosa wants nursing graduates employed in government hospitals even before they pass the board exams. There are about 4,000 nursing positions in government still available, and Herbosa wants to fill these vacancies up with fresh grads. The Health Department has already discussed his proposal with the PRC or Professional Regulation Commission.
Gawin naman natin yung mga may diploma, makatrabaho na sa gobyerno. And then I'll give them 3 to 5 years to pass their board exam. And then I can hire them as an actual item.
Let's now take a quick look at today's other top stories. There were fewer jobless Filipinos in April, according to the Philippine Statistics Authority. The country's jobless rate fell slightly to 4.5% from 4.7% in March. This translates to 2.26 million Pinoys aged 15 and above without jobs in April, compared to the 2.42 million jobless Pinoys in March. Terminal fees over at the Ninoy Aquino International Airport could increase by 500 pesos once the main gateway is privatized. The Transportation Department says the additional fees will kick in once services at the NAIA are at par with other airports like those in Clark and Cebu. However, the agency clarified that there will be a transition period before this change is implemented. And has the El Niño phenomenon really returned? According to the U.S. National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, or NOAA's Climate Prediction Center, it's back. The U.S. agency warns of extreme weather conditions or weather events later this year, with tropical cyclones expected to spin towards the more vulnerable Pacific Islands. The El Niño could also power heavy rainfall over South America and droughts in Australia and some parts of Asia. One News Now will be back at 3 p.m. I'm Sean Yao. We are One News.